Hello.
Maar we doen nu zonder headset.
Hello? Check 1, 2. Weet ik veel hoe dat ding werkt. Ja, ik ben... Nee, maar hij is...
Doet u het?
Hallo? Ja? Oké. Okay, I'm a bit nervous for this, but it's gonna be alright. Welcome everyone. My name is Stephanie and I'm an addict. Welcome to the grand opening speaker meeting of the 2024 World Service Convention of Cocaine Anonymous. I would like to begin this meeting with an extended moment of silence to do with as you choose, followed by the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you. At this time, as to not to disturb the speaker, we will observe the 7th tradition, which states that we are fully self-supporting through our own contributions. Any donation which you place into the basket will go into the general account of the convention, with any proceed being forwarded to the CA area and to CA World Service to help to carry the message to the addicts who still suffers. Newcomers need not feel obligated to contribute. Donations can be made either by the QR displayed here or the QR code displayed in the YAP app. Whew. Cocaine Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others recover from their addiction. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop using cocaine and all other mindless substances. There are no dues or fees for membership. We are fully self-supporting through our own contributions. We are not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organization or institution. We do not wish to engage in any controversy, and we neither endorse nor oppose any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay free from cocaine and all other mind-altering substances, and to help others achieve the same freedom. We use the 12 steps of recovery because it has already been proven that the 12-step program works. It's a custom in Cocaine Anonymous to read who is a CA member, and tonight I have Sean to come to read it for me. Us.
My name is Sean Dugan. I'm a recovered cocaine addict. I live for this shit. Who is a CA member? While the name Cocaine Anonymous may sound drug-specific, we wish to assure you that our program is not. Ooh, shit. Many of our members did a lot of cocaine. Others used only little, and some never even tried coke. We have members who drank only on occasion, those who casually refer to themselves as drunks, and others who were full-blown alcoholics. Lots of us use a wide variety of mind-altering substances. Whether we focused on a specific substance or used whatever we could get our hands on, we had one thing in common. Eventually, we all reached a point where we could not stop. According to CA's third tradition, the only requirement for membership is a desire to stop using cocaine and all other mind-altering substances. Whatever you may have been using, if it led you to this meeting, you're probably in the right place. Over time, virtually every single one of us has realized that our real problem is not cocaine or any specific drug, it is the disease of addiction. It can be tempting to focus on the differences rather than the similarities, but this can blind us to potential success of support, sources of success, or sources of support in our recovery. As we hear other members' stories, the most important question to ask ourselves is not, would I have partied with these people? But rather, do these people have a solution that can help me stay sober? Abso-fucking-lutely. We encourage you to stick around and listen with an open mind. With its all-inclusive third tradition and first step, Cocaine Anonymous welcomes anyone with a drug or alcohol problem and offers a solution. CA's 12 steps are not drug-specific, and Cocaine Anonymous is not a drug-specific fellowship. It doesn't matter to us if you drank or what types of drugs you used. If you have a desire to stop, you are welcome here.
So this is a speaker meeting, and we are delighted to have Pink Caroline from the UK to share her experience, strength, and hope with us tonight. But before we start, I'd like to invite our convention chair, Joost, to the podium to say a few words.
CA, welcome to Holland! Woo! Yeah! So it's been a long time coming. Our journey started 8 years ago with bringing the bid, and now you are finally fucking here. Yes! Woo! So a big shout out to all the service members, the people from the program, hotel, vice chair, treasury, secretary, everybody. Am I forgetting somebody? No, I don't think so. Yeah, it's great. Look at all the decoration. The team of decoration has done so much work. All the flags where CA is represented. It's amazing. I also want to thank the WSOB board and the trustees. They've been so helpful for us on our journey, all the experience they've given us. And I want to give a very special warm welcome to all who are new to the program. If you are new in your first 30 days, let's just get it in. If it's too much, go out, relax. But yeah, this is where I got my real buzz for CA, so I hope we can give you that. And for those who are here for your first time on a convention, I hope it puts you on fire like it did me. So yeah, let's rock this place, enjoy, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Joost. To introduce the speaker, we have Christoph from Wales.
Goedenavond, Christoph Menade. Well, Caroline asked me to introduce her, and well, first of all, Caroline is a smackhead from Hull. She says that every time. However, she's a testament that this program works. She had a spiritual awakening as a result of the working these steps over there. There's 12 of them, and she's full of life. She's so enthusiastic. She's been transformed inside out. She's doing tap dancing and karaoke and like choreographies. Not only that, Caroline is super enthusiastic about service. She loves helping women. Everyone really, she helped me massively. She was the one who said to me, darling, God is not outside there, it's in you. And I was like, oh my God, like, she's involved with service in all levels, PI, thank you, yeah, HNI, area chair, she's the world delegate for West Country, you know, and she's a dear friend, but more importantly, she loves her two daughters. She'll do anything for them. So the Age of Miracles is still with us. So Caroline, come on the stage, darling. I am one of those melodramatic fools, belonging to the bone down and fighting. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? Am I just up?
Hello, testing. Are we on? Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm Caroline, I'm a really grateful recovered addict. I just took that selfie for my home group because that's tonight and I'm missing it to be hanging out here with you. So I'll send that to them as my apologies. I'm just gonna start my clock. Oh my God, I'm so excited to be here because I've just got to tell you, right, something's happened to me. Something's happened to me as the result of working the 12 steps in Cocaine Anonymous. Something's happened to me, and it's something that's miraculous, and it's almost inexplicable what's happened to me. Like, I almost can't, like in my three-dimensional mind, what's happened to me is inexplicable. I haven't even got the words, but I've got about half an hour to try and tell you about this miraculous, dramatic, inexplicable thing, so I'm going to do my very, very best. You see, the story of my life from when I was about 13, what is wrong with you? Caroline, what is wrong with you? This is the story of my life. Oh God, not you. I mean, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? But, like, it was just the story of my life, like my lovely, like kind, honest, hard-working mum and dad. They gave me everything. They gave me absolutely everything I needed to kind of like grow into being a like respectable, honest, hard-working adult member of society. And I got to 13 and they were like, Caroline, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And the school teachers were like, Caroline, what is wrong with you? And like even my friends were like, Caroline, what is wrong with you? And then later on partners were like, Caroline, what is wrong with you? And then employers were like, what is wrong with you? And you know, my natural instinctive response to this repeated question, my natural response to this question, Caroline, what is wrong with you? Nothing wrong with me, mate, what's wrong with you? Right? Nothing wrong with me, what's your fucking problem? Nothing wrong with me, seeing the state of you. Like, that's my natural response, what is wrong with you? Nothing, what's wrong with you? Bat it back, nothing wrong with me, what's wrong with you? But you see at the end of that long, dark night of using, I used to sit on my own in those lonely hours. Remember the lonely hours? And I used to sit on my own in those lonely hours in between two babies' cots. Two babies that I'd had in active addiction with the express intent that it would stop me from using. Like, that's the extent I will use another human being to get what I want. That's the level of my selfishness. That's the level of depravity that this illness drives me to. So not one baby, that one worked a bit. Then I thought, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll have another one, then that'll definitely work. Anyway, I used to sit in the cold, dark middle of the night in between these two babies' cots, just despising myself, just loathing, full of loathing and hatred, the despicable creature I'd become in between these two babies' cots, literally trying to force myself not to leave the house, not to leave the babies in the house on their own, but I had to. I had to go, and so built the loathing, so built the despair, and I couldn't not, and I just fucking sat and I asked myself, what is fucking wrong with you, Caroline? What the fuck is wrong with you? I had everything to stop for, and I couldn't. Now, at this time, my best hope, the best thing that I hoped for, is I just hoped that I could be dead. I just hoped that I wouldn't wake up. That was my best hope at this time. So we talk about defeat. That's probably quite defeated. I just wished that I wouldn't wake up. It would be better for the kids. It would be better for my husband. It would be better for my poor mum and dad. But most of all, it would be better for me, because my suffering would be over. If I could just possibly, just please, God, let me not wake up tomorrow. But I did. I kept waking up. And I kind of like shuffled around some other fellowship meetings, in and out, just like sat at the back crying and that. And there was a woman at a different fellowship meeting, and this woman had tried to help me. And this woman really had the grace and humility to say to me, she was like, Caroline, listen, this fellowship, she said, you are so welcome here, but really this is a fellowship for alcoholics, and it's where alcoholics help other alcoholics to get sober. And she said to me, you are a drug addict, and you need to go to a fellowship where drug addicts help other drug addicts to get clean. You need to go to Cocaine Anonymous. And I was like, I don't like them. And she went, have you ever been? And I was like, no, I have not. And she went, well, how do you know you don't like them? And I was like, because I fucking don't like them. You see, I'm not a cocaine addict. I'm not a cocaine addict. And that reading that Sean just did, like, would I have partied with these people? Yeah. Listen, if you've got any sort of gear and you're sharing it, I'll come and party with you, definitely. I absolutely, definitely will. But when your gear has gone, what I'll probably do is like steal your wallet or your watch or something like that, and then go and buy what I really want, which is not cocaine. It's just never been my thing. It's just never ever been my thing. If it's there and it's free, I'll take it, but I won't like steal anyone's wallet for it. It's just never been my thing. So I was like, I don't like them. I don't like them. Fucking chatty they are. Chatty. They're chatty. And I'm a smackhead, right? I'm a smackhead. I'm a heroin addict. I mean, even now, I hear your stories sometimes, and I'm like, what, 4 o'clock in the morning, like dinosaur hands and midget dwarf porn? I'm like taking the door handles off, what? Why don't you just take heroin, weirdos? I do. But at the time, I was so kind of like just gripped with myself and just like, I don't like them. And I just thought I knew what Cocaine Anonymous was going to be like, and I thought it was going to be like, and if you are one of these, I love you now, and I know that I'm exactly the same as you. But in my head, I thought it was just going to be rooms full of like champagne Charlies with their Billy Big Bollocks tattoos and suntans. If you are that, I love you. I'm the same as you. But back then, I didn't know. Hi, darling, I love you. I didn't know. I just thought, I can't stand them fucking chatting, Billy Big Bollocks, fucking cars and all that. No, I'm not going. I don't like it. I don't like them. But this woman was very insistent I went. She was very, very insistent. And she took me to my first ever Cocaine Anonymous meeting. And you've got to remember, like this is a part of what's wrong with me. It's a small part of what's wrong with me. I think I know things. I think I know. I think I know that I don't like Cocaine Anonymous. I think I know that I don't like you. Even though I've never met any of you. I've never spoken to any of you. I know nothing about you. I just don't like you. So this woman was very insistent, and she brought me to my first ever Cocaine Anonymous meeting. You've got to remember, I'm at an absolute point of defeat. I'm really wishing for death. I'm just wishing that death will happen. And I walked into my first ever Cocaine Anonymous meeting, and the very first thing that you did for me was prove me wrong. Because it didn't look at all like I thought it was going to look. It was a strangely assorted crowd. And that's not even me slagging you off, it's a big book quote. But it was a strangely assorted crowd. Everyone just looked different, and it didn't look like what I thought it was. And coincidentally, the guy who was sitting at the top table was not a cocaine addict. And he made it emphatically clear, just like I want to make it emphatically clear, this is nothing to do with cocaine. It's absolutely nothing to do with cocaine. It's just the name of the fellowship. And actually, if it had a full name, it would be Cocaine and All Other Mind-Altering Substances Anonymous. That's a bit long, isn't it? It's a bit long. So it's just Cocaine Anonymous. So the first thing he did was prove me wrong. And this guy sitting at the top table, like I said, he wasn't a cocaine addict, and he made it emphatically clear that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your thing is. It absolutely doesn't matter. And I'll never forget. And I think because I was in a position of defeat, and at the same time I was proved wrong, somehow this guy's story that he told kind of cracked through my brash exterior, and it reached into my spirit, and I'll always remember, God, I will always remember what the story was. Do you remember when it was going to be a good day? Do you remember when he'd had enough money and the dealer was on, and he'd had enough money to score, and the dealer was on, and he managed to get back, and it was going to be a good day. This is going to be a good day. Party for one is on. I've got back home. I've got everything I need is in arm's reach. Everything I need is here within arm's reach. I don't even have to leave the room. Curtains are closed. Door is locked. Phone's unplugged. Oh, it's going to be amazing. Everything I need is here. Best day ever. And then, as soon as I start to use the tiniest little hip-sit, pill, snort, whatever, the tiniest little bit goes into me, and there starts to be a panic. And I look around at my piles of things, what I've got, and I'm like, this isn't enough. This is not going to be enough. Fuck. Soon as I've started, the party's ruined. Fucking ain't got enough, have I? Oh, I'm going to have to get some more money, I'm going to go out, I'm going to have to talk to people. Party's ruined. As soon as I've started, the party's ruined, and the more I use, the worse it gets, the more frantic, the rising panic. I ain't got enough. And this is the story this guy told, and I was literally hanging on the edge of my seat going, what? That is exactly what happens to me. It's exactly what happens to me. Like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even, like, heroin's my favourite, but it doesn't matter whether it's heroin or headache tablets or crack or cough medicine or antihistamines or amphetamines or vodka, high-strength lager or nail varnish remover, because that's what sort of alcoholic I am. It doesn't matter what the substance is. As soon as I put anything, the tiniest amount of anything in me, this physical thing happens, and it like drives me. It's this physical force that drives me, and it drives me to a place I don't want to be, with people I don't want to be with, doing things that I don't want to do, and I fucking despise myself, but I can't stop. It's like carrying me, this need, this insatiable hunger is just driving every action, every waking minute, and it's just. And he was telling this story, it was just explaining things, and I was like, oh my God, this is what's wrong with me. And every single person in the room was saying, if you're new, get a sponsor and work the steps. Get a home group, do some service. And I just want to reiterate this, listen to me, listen. If you're new, get a sponsor and work the steps, get a home group and do some service. Every single person in the room that night was saying that, and I was like, okay, get a sponsor, work the steps, okay, yeah, get a home group, and anyway. At the end of the meeting, this woman came and talked to me. She came and sat down next to me. I was crying my eyes out. I cried a lot in these days. I cried all the time, I cried. And she came and sat down next to me, and I was like, crying, self-pity, poor Caroline. And she said, oh, hi. She was so pretty. She was like, had shiny hair and a nice dress, and she smelled lovely. And she went, oh, hi, I like your handbag. And I went, will you be my sponsor? I didn't know. She was just really pretty. And it was so funny because, like, I'm crying and I'm defeated and I wish I was dead, and there's this pretty woman, and she went, yeah, come to my house tomorrow. We're going to start reading the book. And I was like, ha, 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 ha. Hang on a minute. Because I'm a bit like, what? I'm dying of a terrifying drug problem. I'm dying of a terrifying drug problem. And you're going, we got a book. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're going to read a book to me? I was like, I need someone to actually do something. I need someone to actually help me. And she was like, I am going to help you. I'm going to read the book. And I was like, listen, I know you all really like your book. It's not even a good book. It's like a weirdo olden days book. That was written before women were even invented. Right? You know. Right? So how's a book A book going to help me. I'm clearly clinically insane. There's something wrong with me. How's a book going to help? And she was like, listen, just come to my house tomorrow morning before you've used, and we're going to start reading the book. And do you know what? It was probably the first bit of clear-cut direction that I ever followed. I did. I went to her house the next morning before I used. And obviously, I'm an opiate addict, so when opiate addicts don't use, they're like physically quite ill. So I was physically quite ill. And she was so excited to see me. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe you came. It was early, like 8 o'clock in the morning or something. Can't believe you came. Come on, sit down, have a cup of tea. We're going to read the book. And I was like, okay. She was so excited. And she started reading the book, right? But not like a normal person reads a book. Because she read the blank page. Out loud, the blank page. And she was so excited to be reading the blank page out loud. And then she read the title page. Like all of it. All of the words on the title. She read it out loud. And she was going on about this. And I was like, and then, have you ever read a book like this? She read the contents page out loud to me. She read it out loud and she was going on about the contents page, and I was like, oh. And then listen to this, right? She read the preface. Have you ever read the preface of a book? Who reads a preface? You just go to the good bit. And then she read the forward to the first edition. Listen, right? She's so excited to be reading this. She's like visibly excited. And I'm just sat there thinking, she is mental. Bless her. Bless her. I can't wait for her to finish. I'm just going to go and use. This is mental. And I just really wasn't even really listening. I just thought she was mental, and I thought it was just another one of my crackpot ideas, because I've had loads of crackpot ideas, like sticking needles in my ears and drinking Chinese twig medicine. Like, I've tried loads of things to stop. And I just thought this is probably another one of those crazy things that isn't going to work. Right? Anyway, forward to the first edition. There's fucking 4 of them. But I sat and we drank tea, and she was very kind, and she, like I say, she was very pretty and she was very lovely. And then she started reading the doctor's opinion. Listen to me. When she started reading the doctor's opinion, something changed, because she started talking about what her using looks like. She started going, oh, and then reading a bit, and then going, oh yeah, and then this happened, and blah, 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 this happened. And I'm like, oh my God, well, that's happened to me. And then this happened. And she was like, yeah, that happened to me. So, and then she was reading a bit more, and I was like, oh my God, an allergy? And she was like, yes, it's an allergy. What do you think about the allergy? And I was like, an allergy, an abnormal physical reaction. And for the first time in my life, I really, honestly, for the first time in my life, I contemplated, God, am I abnormal? Because I've always looked... No, I did. No, seriously. Because I've always looked at people, right, who, like, go home and thought, fucking weirdos. Like, even when I was really young, we used to go out sniffing gas. I grew up in the 80s, early 80s. Glue and gas was all the rage. And we used to go out from school on a lunchtime, and my friends would get 1 can to share between 4 of them, and I'd have a can up this sleeve and a can up this sleeve. Wah, 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 wah. And then, after 20 minutes, my friends would go, right, we're going back to school now. And I'd be like, what do you mean we're going back to school? We could just stay here and do this. And they'd be like, Caroline, what is wrong with you? We got to go to school. I'm like, what is wrong with you? We can stay here. I've always thought they were the weirdos. They're weird. What do you mean we're going back to school? What do you mean you're going home? What do you mean you've got to go to work? Just don't go. We can stay here and do this more. What do you mean? But for the first time in my life, I was like, oh my God, is it me? Oh God, I think it might be me that's abnormal. Something different. Something happens to me that doesn't happen to my sister. It doesn't happen to my husband. It doesn't happen to my friends. Something physically different happens to me when I put a substance in me. And it's like I've said, this physical force that drives me, this physical thing that wakes up in me as soon as I've put the tiniest amount of any substance in. It wakes up and it drives me to those places I don't want to be with, the people I don't want to be with, doing the things that I don't want to do, and I fucking despise myself, but it's on. It's just, I'm just driven. Insatiable hunger. And I was like, oh my God, an allergy. And I was like, oh my God, this book is quite good, isn't it? Oh my God. What else does it say? What else does it say? Because it's a bit like, it's starting to answer that question, what is wrong with you? An allergy, God, what? That's so simple, and I get it, because I'm allergic to cats. I'm really allergic. I have an abnormal physical reaction to cats. Is other people allergic to cats? Anybody? Yeah, you have an abnormal physical reaction. So a small portion of the room cannot touch cats safely, right? And the thing is, with cats, right, and this is the second part of the illness that this woman told me about, and it goes into detail in doctor's opinion, in there is a solution, and in minute detail in more about alcoholism, right? Listen to this. You see, every single time I see a cat, and I mean like 100% of the time when I see a cat, my brain absolutely says to me, do not touch the cat. Do not touch that cat, it's going to make you ill. And I'm like, okay, don't touch the cat. I can absolutely, my brain can access the information that's there about the cat. My brain has never, ever said to me, Caroline, it's been 6 months since you stroked a cat. It's going to be fine. Because there'd be something wrong with me if my brain worked like that, right? And my brain has never, ever said to me, Caroline, this cat is orange. And that other cat was black. I think orange cats are going to be okay. Because that would be really, really weird if that happened. And like my brain has never, ever said to me, Caroline, just for this one Friday night, get that cat and have a really good cuddle with her. Really rub it on your face and that. And then tomorrow morning, stop stroking the cat. Because I'd be absolutely mental. Like, I'd be proper mental if that happened, wouldn't I? Yeah? Proper mental. People there's something wrong with you. And I'd be like, yeah, there is. Absolutely. But you see that is exactly what happens to me with mind-altering substances. That and so much more. That and so much more. It's been 6 months, just don't touch heroin, well, just for this one Friday night. Or sometimes even worse than that, like I'm just walking around Tesco's, which is our big supermarket, and there's nothing going on. I'm totally abstinent. I've had lots of periods of abstinence in my life. Just walking around Tesco's, getting some bananas, put some bread in, and my brain goes, Caroline, you have got a bad back, go and buy codeine-based painkillers. So I'm like, okay. So I limp over, limp. I just got a limp because of my back, obviously. Limp, buy the codeine-based painkillers. Don't even think. No thought at all. And while I'm there, I develop a cough. I have some of the drowsy cough medicine as well. Wash them down in the car park, all of them. With the, something's really wrong with the way my mind works. Like the information that using is unsafe is definitely there. It's definitely in my head. I know that using burns me. I absolutely know. I know that it burns me. But my brain goes, oh, it's not going to burn you this time. Got an idea. And I'm like, okay, good idea, let's go. And thus starts one more trip to the asylum for Caroline. And you see, when I matched up my experience of these periods of abstinence that I've had with this either peculiar mental twist or this really strange mental blank spot where I just don't think at all, I matched up my experience. I was like, oh my God. It was like this massive spiritual penny dropped. And I was like, this is why all these 12-step weirdos keep going on about God. This is why they're all going on about God all the time. Because I did think it was very odd that God was going to be the solution. And I was like, that's a bit much, isn't it? That's a bit far-fetched, really. Really, it is. God, it's been massive, isn't it? It's massive, that. I think I'll just go to some meetings and read some stuff, like that God stuff. But I had this massive spiritual penny drop, and I was like, this is why they keep going on about God, because if my mind is the problem, if my mind in any period of abstinence, my mind is going to lie and delude and trick and collude with itself to get me to pick up, then obviously, again, obviously, I need something greater. I need something higher than my mind. I need something. I need to find a power by which I could live. And really, I'm just an old smackhead from Hull. Like Christos said, I am just an old smackhead from Hull. I'm totally spiritually bereft. I know nothing of God. I literally know the animals came in 2 by 2. Hurrah! And that's about it. That's it. So now I'm in this dilemma where God is the answer. And I really would love to tell you and wish that my story was, and from that point I launched into a course of vigorous action. Oh no. For 4 more years, I stayed in the rooms of Cocaine Anonymous trying to avoid the God issue and writing inventory and doing service and doing all the things, and I kept relapsing and relapsing and relapsing. And even you lot started saying to me, Caroline, what is wrong with you? Just do the fucking God thing! You did. You did. And eventually, after a series of humiliating defeats with you guys holding me and pointing me in the right direction, I eventually saw that God either is or God isn't. And it's as simple as that. I'm either doing this or I'm not. And if you're in this same predicament, because it's just massive, innit? It's just massive and weird, and it's not what I came here for, and I don't even know what you're talking about, God, what you want about. I don't want you to worry and make such a big a deal of it as I did, because what I found out, actually, is literally the rest of the book. Literally, actually, the rest of the book is a list of instructions about how a spiritually bereft old smackhead from Hull can find a power by which she can live. That is literally what this is about. It's what the rest of the steps are about. It's what meetings are about. It's what sponsorship's about. It's what we're about. It's what CA is about. If you need to find a power by which you can live, we've actually got an instruction book. Literally, instruction book. And I just went and I followed the clear-cut directions in the instruction book for God. And I made a decision to turn my will and my life and my thoughts and my actions over to the care of this God that I absolutely didn't understand at that point. And then I started to write some inventory. Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? That was interesting because I found some things out, like, listen to this, right? You know, my head, as well as lying to me about drinking drugs, it also lies to me about you. I just make things up. Like, I look at someone and think, well, they don't like me, obviously. And I forget that I made it up, and it becomes the absolute truth. And I also found out I'm a dramatic and hysterical overreactor. Who knew? But this is quite, I know, right? But this is quite an explosive combination, because I make things up, and then I dramatically and hysterically overreact to them. So I'm always in conflict and collision with people. Always in conflict. And you see, when I got to the end of the reading out the step 5, like reading it all, like reading it, there's loads of, you know, resentments, harms, fears, sex conducts. Oh my God, guess what? All of it, absolutely everything I wrote, every single thing, all of it had one thing in common. Do you know what it was? Da, 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 da. Oh man, I was gutted. No, I genuinely was surprised by this. I genuinely was surprised, because I had this idea that I was just quite a nice person with a little heroin habit. And turns out I was wrong again, you see. And this is what step 6 and 7 is about, innit? You know, step 6 and 7, like, I need to do some spirit work. I need to do some spirit work as well. And this is what 6 and 7 is about, because it's not just about I don't know how to live without drinking and drugging. I just don't know how to live. I just don't know how to live. So 6 and 7, you know, that step 5 that I did, actually, like, I laugh about it now, but actually it defeated me. It absolutely defeated me. It defeated me the same. The information from that step 5 defeated me the same as the information that I was given in step 1. The information in step 1 defeated me sufficiently to go, right, I need God to help me with my drinking and drugging. The information that I got from my step 5 was like, oh, wow. It defeated me enough to think, right, I need God to help with my living as well. Because I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to be a friend. I don't know how to be a mum. I don't know how to be a partner. I don't know how to live. So that's what 6 and 7 is about. Then 8 and 9. I mean, I don't think I've got time to tell you many stories, but 8 and 9 basically is about going out in it and cleaning up the past, cleaning up the messes of the past. And, you know, I used to look at step 9 and think, what? What? Me say sorry to them? They should be saying sorry to me. They need to be saying sorry to me, not me saying sorry to them. I was such a victim. And, you know, I just knew, like, victims don't recover. Victims don't recover. I was so, like, bound down with self-pity and blame. And really what we just need to do is put the blame thrower down and take some responsibility for the messes that I've made. And, you know, my sponsor made me write out this now, later, maybe never. And it was like a demonstration of willingness, she said. And I did it, and I went back to her, and she went, is there anybody on the never list? And I was like, yeah, that one there. And she was like, right, we're going to ring her now. And I was like, what? She's on the never list? And she was like, yeah, well, she was like, just go to the front, blank page. She was like, go to the front of your book. Flick, 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 flick. And she said, you agreed at the beginning that you were willing to go to any lengths for victory over alcohol. And she knew that I did because she'd made me write it on the blank page and sign it and put the date. So I couldn't even argue. I was like, so she was like, so why do you think, Caroline, we've gone all the way through the book until now, word for word, line by line, page by page, and we've followed the instructions in the book. So why do you think now that we're going to skip forward 6 pages and make those amends that are nice? The first one it talks about is the person that you hate. Ring her now. And I was like, you see, my defeat makes me willing, but I'm not always, I'm like unwillingly willing. Unwillingly willing. I rang this woman. You know when you ring someone, you're like, please don't answer, please don't answer, please don't answer. Well, anyway, she answered after about 2 rings. She was like, oh my God, Caroline, I've missed you so much. And I was like, I need to come and see you. You see, the thing is, you know what I said about like making things up? Like, I hadn't really got time to tell you this whole story, but this woman had done the worst possible thing ever to me, and I hated her. I despised her. If I saw her in the street, I would run her down, even if she had her kids with her, and I just used to think about burning her house down in the night. Like, I hated her. Proper consumed with hate for this woman. And anyway, I was like, I need to come and see you. And she was like, all right, come around now. And I was like, what now? And she's like, yeah, now. I was like, oh, okay. And I'm walking to her house, and something happened to me. Do you know what happened to me? Something happened to me on my way to her house. The truth happened to me. The truth happened to me, because actually all this woman had ever done was try and help me. She was my best friend for 17 years. She was my best friend for 17 years, and she tried to help me, and I lied to her, and I manipulated her, and I stole from her, and I used her, and I was just a terrible friend. I didn't even know how to be a friend. And I went to see her, and I was like, and she was like, oh my God, Caroline, I'm so sorry that I've upset you. And I was like, listen, we're just going to leave that. You haven't upset me. You were just trying to help. Like, the truth literally happened to me on my way there. And when I said to her, is there anything I can do? She went, we'd just be my friend. We'd be my friend again. And I had to be honest with her and said, I don't really know how to do that. I don't really know how to do that. Can you help me? And we are best friends again now. Yeah. I mean, I haven't got time to go into the full story. I wish I had, because it's actually, I mean, we shouldn't laugh at these things, but it is actually quite funny. Because she didn't actually do the worst thing in the world to me. What she did was she went on Facebook and wrote, Caroline needs some help. She's a drug addict. It is quite bad, right? But it wasn't the worst thing in the world, because she was telling the fucking truth. She was trying to help me. And she had said to me repeatedly, if you don't stop, I'm not keeping it a secret. I'm going to tell everyone. I'm going to tell everyone that you need help. So it wasn't the work. Like, she had told me she was going to do it repeatedly. Like, if you lie to me again, if you leave the kids here again, if you're taking my money off me, I'm going to tell everyone. And I was like, yeah, just look after the kids. Yeah, just send us a tenner. And then she just did it. So anyway, so that's like a bit more of a story. But yeah. Anyway, so, and there's more, but, you know, talk about, like, something happened to me, the truth happened to me. And, you know, because of this, because I've had these experiences where, like, Cocaine Anonymous consistently proves me wrong, I continue. 4 times in one paragraph, it asks us to continue to watch for selfishness, resentment, dishonesty, and fear. So selfishness, thinking about me thinking about me, right? Resentment, me thinking about you. Fear, me thinking about me with you. And dishonesty, me just fucking thinking. Just watch for thinking, Caroline. Watch for thinking. It gives me some instructions what to do with it. And then in step 11, I mean, this was weird. Because like I said, I'm just an old smackhead from all. And what I did was, right, I just started saying yes to things. I just started saying yes. And people would go, do you want to go, like, 5 rhythms dancing? And I'd be like, yeah. And there was all these, like, tie-dye people doing, like, ooh. And then, like, do you want to go to a sound bath? Like, massive gongs, like, gonging and that. And I just started saying yes to things that in my 3-dimensional mind go, this is weird. But my spirit is craving it, and I'm spiritually uplifted, and, like, singing and dancing and chanting. I started going chanting. And I love chanting. It's so spiritually, like, uplifting. But a little bit like me and stimulants, we don't mix that well. Me and stimulants. One day I said yes to something, and my friend drove me out to this nunnery in the middle of the Gloucestershire countryside. It was a nunnery in the middle of nowhere, right? There was no escaping this place. And this Frenchman came in, was all sat in a circle, and he came in and he went, we're going to give ourselves the gift of silence until tomorrow evening. I was like, you fucking what? It was a silent retreat that I'd said yes to, because I don't always listen. I was just saying yes to things. I was just saying yes to spiritual seeking. And it was a silent retreat. I thought I was going to die. Like, my arm started hurting and everything. I thought I was having a heart attack. I was like, I can't do it. I was crying. I was like, I want to go home. I don't like it. I can't do it. But something happened. Something happened to me that weekend. Something happened to me. Something happened to me. You know, I do all these spiritual uplifting things. I still do them now, and I still really, really enjoy them. But actually, what I need is a deep and effective spiritual experience. And what I found that weekend is that I find that in silence. For me, God's first language is silence. And it's so weird, because when I first came to CA, somebody said to me, Caroline, this is when I was like crazy newcomer relapsing, and someone said to me, Caroline, you need to sit down and shut up. And I was like, well, how fucking rude. I am the newcomer, most important person in the meeting. They said, Caroline, sit down, shut up. They were right. They were right. What I needed to do was sit down and shut up. And you see, from there, I've developed this like dedicated and disciplined step 11 practice. And I can't even tell you, right? Everything has changed. Everything has changed. And I don't even mean drinking and drugging. Obviously, that's changed. Obviously, that has changed. But everything else, like even what I watch on the television, what I eat, what I drink, the music that I listen to, how I dress, how I speak, how I drive my car has changed. Right? Everything has changed. But perhaps the very biggest change, like all of my life, I've always thought that I needed to get things to be all right. I think I need to get things. And we're kind of taught it, aren't we, at school? You've got to get these like exams, get the qualifications, get a good job, and get some money, and get. So I've always lived my life. I need to get that relationship, I need to get that job, I need to get that money, I need to get that script, I need to get a place in rehab, I need to get that detox. And even when I came in, I want to get your spiritual experience. Well, no. Again, Cocaine Anonymous has proved me wrong consistently. I've been wrong all of my life. I've been wrong. Because actually, what I found out here in Cocaine Anonymous, I mean, this is miraculous, right? That this bunch of like low down, thieving, cheating, lying, scumbag junkies, what you've actually taught me is the secret of living. Yeah? If there's one thing you remember from what I'm saying now, I want you to remember this: the secret of living is giving. I've been totally wrong all of my life, and you've showed me that with so much love and so much care and so much compassion and so much consistency. And I'm so grateful. I'm so absolutely indebted to the women who came before me and laid the paths and lit the lamps for me to follow. But actually, more than that, it's the women who came after me who really saved my life. The women who came after me, who allowed me the privilege of walking alongside them and giving freely of myself. You know, look around this room. Look, do it now. Look around. Look around the room. Most of us came here as a last resort. But most of us came here as a last resort. But we found much of heaven. And we've been rocketed into a fourth dimension of existence of which we'd not even dreamed. Listen, I'm here all weekend. If you need any help, please come and see me. Do you know what we'll do? Start the blank page. I love you all.
Hi, my name is Stephanie and I'm still an addict. Our time is up. If you have any questions that went unanswered or if you feel the need to share, please introduce yourself to someone after the meeting and exchange phone numbers. We are all here to help. Then I would like to ask Martin to come up for the announcements.
My name is Martin, I'm an addict. We just have the one. I think there are people in this room that are going to the flower auction tomorrow. Please know that breakfast will be made available to you, and there will be. Yes, so little round of applause for breakfast, guys. And here's Stephanie again.
Yeah. Then I would like to ask Michel from Enschede, it's still, to read A Vision for You.
Hello, hello. My name is Michel. I'm an addict. A vision for you. Our book is meant to be subjective only. We realize we know only a little. God will constantly disclose more than you and to us, to you and to us. Ask Him in your morning meditation what you can do each day for the man who is still sick. The answer will come. If your own house is in order, but obviously you cannot transmit something you haven't got. See to it that your relationship with Him is right, and great events will come to pass for you and countless others. This is the great fact for us. Abandon yourself to God as you understand God. Admit your faults to Him and to your fellows. Clear away the wreckage of your past. Give freely of what you find and join us. We shall be with you in the fellowship of the Spirit, and you will surely meet some of us as you trudge the road of happy destiny. May God bless you and keep you. Until then.
After a moment of silent meditation for the addict who still suffers, will those of you who are care to join, who gonna ask Joost, is he still here? Yeah? To lead us out in the serenity prayer. Thanks, Joel.
Ja, en nou mag ik deze.
Ik zie het al inderdaad. Lekker hard ook.
Ja.
Ja.
En dan kan ik hem dus hier, kan ik hem even iets afzetten. Hè? Ja. Ja, oké. Ja, snap er wel vertrouwen in.
Ja, ik kan wel iets voor je zeggen. Hey, hallo. Mooi.
Test, test.
Nou, Jantje, het is een eer dat ik hier mag zitten voor jou, jongen. Dus zo zitten we bij mijn... Welcome everyone. I'm just waiting for everyone to sit down. Or at least be quiet. My name is Martijn and I'm an addict. Welcome to the next rookie speaker meeting of the 2024 World Service Convention of Cocaine Anonymous. I would like to begin this meeting with an extended moment of silence. To do it as you choose, followed by the Serenity Prayer. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. As this time as not to disturb the speaker, we will observe the 7th tradition, which states that we are fully self-supporting through our own contributions. Any donations which you place into the basket will go into the general account of the convention, with any proceeds being forwarded to the CA area and to CA World Service to help us carry the message to the addict who still suffers. Newcomers need not feel obligated to contribute. Donations can be made either via the QR displayed here or the QR code displayed in the YAP app. Cocaine Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others recover from their addiction. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop using cocaine and all other mind-altering substances. There are no dues or fees for membership. We are fully self-supporting through our own contributions. We are not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organization or institution. We do not wish to engage in any controversy, and we neither endorse nor oppose any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay free from cocaine and all other mind-altering substances and to help others achieve the same freedom. We use the 12 steps of recovery because it has already been proven that the 12-step recovery program works. It is a custom in Cocaine Anonymous to read who is a CA member, and tonight I have asked Jeremy from Malta, holy shit, to read this for us.
So, hello everybody. My name is Jeremy and I'm an addict. So, yeah. Who is a CA member? So, while the name Cocaine Anonymous may sound drug specific, we wish to assure you that our program is not. Many of our members did a lot of cocaine. Others used only a little, and some never even tried coke. We have members who drank only on occasion, those who casually referred to themselves as drunks, and others who were full-blown alcoholics. Lots of us used a wide variety of mind-altering substances. Whether we focused on a specific substance or used whatever we could get our hands on, we had one thing in common. Eventually, we all reached a point where we could not stop. According to CA's third tradition, the only requirement for membership is a desire to stop using cocaine and all other mind-altering substances. Whatever you may have been using, if it led you to this meeting, you're probably in the right place. Over time, virtually every single one of us has realized that our real problem is not cocaine or any specific drug. It is the disease of addiction. It can be tempting to focus on our differences rather than our similarities, but this can blind us to potential sources of support in our recovery. As we hear other member stories, the most important question to ask ourselves is not, would I have partied with these people? But rather, do these people have a solution that can help me stay sober? We encourage you to stick around and listen with an open mind. With its all-inclusive third tradition, the first step, Cocaine Anonymous welcomes anyone with a drug or alcohol problem and offers a solution. CA's 12 steps are not drug-specific, and Cocaine Anonymous is not a drug-specific fellowship. It doesn't matter to us if you drank or what type of drugs you used. If you have a desire to stop, you are welcome here. Yes. Thank you.
So this is a speaker meeting, and my good friend Jan M. from the Netherlands is here to share his experience, strength, and hope with us tonight. And I have asked Mark to introduce this man.
Hello everybody, my name is Mark and I'm an addict. It's an honor and a pleasure for me to announce the next speaker. I had the pleasure to meet him, I think, approximately 1.5 years ago. I don't think I've ever met somebody so blunt and direct as he is. I mean, we Dutchies are direct, but Jan is experienced for taking it to the next level. But always available and always willing to help until he's not responding anymore. And unfortunately, we also had to experience that. And I think that's the first point where within the relationship with me and Jan, we have like a local home group in Horen, where we have like a weekly dinner, and we have just a small meal like a kebab or some fries or a snack, and we do it always together with a group. And Jan already said for a couple of weeks, yeah, I'll be there, and he wasn't there again. But he was living like next door, so we decided to go there and bang on his door. And fortunately he opened and joined us in a meeting. And ever since then, Jan is here, and I've seen him change tremendously. But I prefer to leave the story up to him. So I would like to give the word to Jan himself.
Hi, my name is Jan, and I'm a grateful member of Cocaine Anonymous. It's an honor to speak here. Told my story a few times at meetings, but at the World Convention, well, Louis van Gaal would say that's another cook. I'm going to try to tell you what it was like, what happened, and how I recovered from a hopeless state of mind and body. I think it already started when I was born. As a kid, I lived in a neighborhood with a lot of other children, always playing outside, had a lot of friends, but I always felt alone. I felt like I didn't belong here. It was like I was walking a few steps behind them, and that's how I felt all my life, until I found this fellowship. When I went to high school, still had the same feeling. I was about 13, 14 years old, and I discovered that when I took a few drinks, that feeling was gone. I was always very shy and insecure, and that was gone. I dared to talk to women, and I always thought that it was really normal the way I used alcohol. Later, when I entered my first rehab, I discovered that it wasn't completely true, because I always drank faster, more, and when everyone was going home, I went to the next bar where I saw some lights burning. And I think I was about 20, 21 years old. I studied in a city called Groningen, and I discovered cocaine. And I don't know how to describe the feeling that I got when I first took my first line of cocaine, but I think it was something like, that was the feeling I was looking for. I don't know the time frame, but I used to do a few times, but before I knew it, I took it every day. In my last year, I had to do an internship, and I thought, well, maybe I've got a little problem with cocaine, so if I do the internship in a different city, then my problems are solved. So I went to Utrecht. I think, yeah, now it's going to be fine. I think on the second day, I knew exactly in the company who was using. And my first weekend, I had the phone numbers of 5 dealers in my phone. I rented a home. After the internship, they offered me a job. I thought, well, that's nice. But the using, again, was daily. And all my money was going to cocaine. Sometimes I called in sick for work. But later on, I thought, oh, I just don't show up. They can guess I'm sick. And I also discovered if I didn't pay rent, I had more money to buy cocaine. The guy I was renting the house from, he told me I had to pay, or he would kick me out. And I thought, well, that's not going to happen to me. That's what I believed all my life, you know. That's not going to happen to me. At first, at the job, they told me they don't wanted me to come back. So I didn't have a job anymore. And the guy did kick me out of the house. I was completely surprised for what's happening to me now. I think I was about 26 years old, and there I was, again, back at my parents' house. And that's when I realized, oh, I made a complete mess. I need to fix this. How can I fix it? Yeah, I got a solution. I need to find another job. I find a girlfriend, live with her together, and my problems are solved. So that's what I did. But again, not the problems were solved. I moved to another city again, found some coke dealers again, and the story repeated. So I'm going to move fast forward to a few years later, because what happened was I used cocaine, get fired, find a new job, get fired, and so on. Then a few years later, my mother called me. My father had discovered he had cancer. And again, I thought, well, that's not going to happen to me. He will be fine. He was later in the hospital. I got a phone call, you need to come now. It's not going to end well. I thought, now? I don't have time. I was completely high. So I was really irritated. I had to go to the hospital. And I stood there. And the only thing I could think of, and I don't hope it's going to take very long, because at 12 my dealer stops. So I need to be home before that. My dad passed away. I was standing next to his bed. And I was texting my dealer, please put some grams in my mailbox. It was the only thing I could think of. Then, I think it's about 9 months after my dad passed away, we discovered also my mother had cancer. But I was always borrowing money from her. So I thought, well, I can't make it to ask for money now again. So I promised myself I'm going to stop asking money. She's sick. I need to be there for her. But yeah, I needed 500 euros. So I did ask her again, and that would be the last time, I promised myself. And I also thought my mom didn't notice that. But yeah, that was wrong. She said, your story, it doesn't make sense. I give you the 500, but you come to me and explain what's really the problem. I said, yeah, okay, Monday I'll be there. It's Monday morning, high as fuck. I thought, no, not today. So I went 2 days later. But she was at that moment too far gone. So I never had a chance to talk to her anymore. That evening, she passed away. And after that, I started using more. I was using a lot, but it was possible to use more. And that was the moment I found out that I need to do something about this. I thought, yeah, maybe I need to go to rehab. But the only thing I was seeing were problems. I thought, yeah, when I go to rehab, I have to tell my boss, and then he will fire me. And then someone told me, he said, well, if you go on like this, you sure will be fired. I think, oh yeah, it happened to me a lot of times before. So I went for an intake at the rehab with a cocaine problem. And it was a 12-step rehab. And they said, yeah, you need to also need to stop drinking. I said, what? No, I don't have a drinking problem. I thought, well, but they say, yeah, are you up for that? So I thought, well, if I say no, they won't let me in. So I said yes. In that clinic, I heard for the first time that there were meetings from different fellowships. I only knew AA from movies, but I thought, well, yeah, okay, if that's what's going to work, I'll try it. And I went straightly after I came out of rehab. I went to my first meeting. I relapsed a few times in the beginning. But then I finally discovered, well, if I do a lot of meetings, I can stay clean. They also told me I had to find a sponsor, so I did. But it was in that other fellowship with their own book, and it felt like homework doing the steps. So I did just a little, but I managed to stay clean for 3 years. But still, that voice in the back of my head, it's so bad, I can't drink anymore. And one day, after a meeting, I thought, well, maybe I drink only tonight, don't tell my sponsor, and go to a meeting again tomorrow. So I did, but it wasn't it wasn't only one night. That one night took 2 years. And again, everything repeated. Got kicked out of my house again. All my money was gone. And I didn't know what to do anymore. I was again homeless. Well, I manipulated my ex-girlfriend. I could stay on her couch. And that first night, I took her bank card and bought some cocaine. I thought, well, I can do that. But I just didn't know what to do. I thought, well, okay, one more rehab then. And I went to Scotland for 10 weeks. And after that, here in Holland, they call it a safe house. It's like a sober living house. Well, they said, maybe you should go there. I think, yeah, why not? I don't have a house anymore, so it's nice. They have a house for me. That really went well. And after that, I found a sponsor, and I thought, well, I want to do the CA program. When I started reading the big book, and I learned about the allergy, and then I finally discovered what the problem is. I always believed that I was insane. Sometimes I still believe that. So I started working the steps again with my sponsor. But yeah, there's still was something not I felt uncomfortable. I had those doubts in my head. And when, for example, my boss says, "Do you have a minute?" My mind, oh, now they're going to fire me. And those things I didn't talk about. I thought I managed that on my own. But the only solution I know of was using again. And then I was using, and Mark mentioned it already. It was Tuesday evening, the evening of my home group, and I heard the doorbell. I thought, oh, fuck. I knew we were standing in front of my door. He said he finally opened. It took 20 minutes before I opened. And as far as my memory goes, I didn't go that evening to the meeting with you guys, but I came the next day. My sponsor said, I know why you have so hurry to go inside. You have some left. I said, yeah, I have. But that was the last time I ever used again. My sponsor said that this is your last chance. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., I pick you up. We're going to do that step 4, and now you will be completely honest. And I did. And that really was a solution for me. And also, next to the step, he said, maybe you should get some professional help for your self-image. And I also did that. And that really worked well. Not that I'm completely turned around, but it's getting better. You know, when I look in the mirror, I can think, well, I'm looking good. Maybe a nice example. My core belief is always I don't belong here, no one likes me, and that last Christmas we had an event with our home group with a very nice speaker all the way from Tilburg, and there was this girl. I talked with her for a while. I thought, well, that's a nice girl, but normally my first thing in my mind would be, well, she doesn't like me, and but this time I thought maybe, and I called my sponsor, and he said, well, you just contact her, make an appointment, and I'll hear from you when the appointment is, and he hang up. I thought, fuck, but well, I did, and today we are here together. Well, as I mentioned before, my parents both passed away. We have an island here in Holland called Texel. That's we put the ashes in the sea. So my step 9 was on the beach. I asked my sponsor, how can I do a step 9 with my parents? He said, well, I have no experience with that, but I have a phone number from a fellow who has. Maybe you can call him. So I did. And I wrote a letter and read it out loud. But I think that, today, maybe the last part of my step 9, because today, it's exactly 9 years ago, my mom passed away. She's never seen me sober, but I'm pretty sure she's looking now, and that's where I will leave it from now. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So thank you, Jan, for sharing your story. And what I said is just a privilege to sit here and listen to you and you know, I really connect with you. We have the same tattoos, that's funny. So when I met Jan, I saw that he has the same tattoo as I has, from that music that we were listening to at the beginning of this convention. We both like it. So I'm really connected with Jan in a deep way. So thank you for that. I think we still have some time left. So shall we just go open up the meeting for sharing? Is that a common thing at a rookie meeting? Yeah? Okay, so the mic is here, or you can sit whatever you want. The meeting is open for sharing, and it will take for another maybe 30 minutes. So somebody wants to share something?